Chapter 51. Laura sprinted across Jessica's front lawn, gulping uninhibited breaths, thrilled by the ability to move her body in any direction she chose. It was exhilarating despite sharp pain in her ribcage, sore shoulders, and tingling arms as feeling gradually returned. A bright white light sheeted her. She froze. A car's engine idled softly behind the light. A police cruiser, no doubt. Capture was unacceptable. She broke her paralysis and ran across the street, onto another lawn, the white beam tracing her every step. She bent and picked up a medium-sized rock from a cacti garden. "Police!" a voice shouted from a megaphone. "Stop!" They wouldn't fire because she was unarmed. She thought of running back to get the empty gun under Jessica's windowsill. But even if she made it there without being captured or attacked by Jessica again, the police might not kill her. Unless she fired her gun, which was impossible, the police would just try to wound her, if that. She calculated having a better chance of killing herself by herself. She continued in a full run toward a large floor-to-ceiling window, throwing the rock ahead of her, shattering the entire pane, pieces still falling as she jumped through and into a dark living room. Due to the angle, the police light couldn't penetrate this deeply in the house, so she progressed with more caution, down several steps, finding a hallway. A light flashed on from a bedroom, and a boy toddler walked out, squinting. Laura scooped him up as hostage in case she became cornered. An older girl was in the room, screaming. Laura would never normally endanger children. This was completely against her morals, but this place was a dream, and she had to get out to help real people. The boy's weight did feel authentic, though. She held him with her left arm around the bottom and her right arm around his back, like any person would hold a toddler, despite pain in her left arm. Recognizing the lack of necessity to care for the boy, she threw him over her shoulder as one might hold a sack of potatoes and continued down the hall, alleviating the pain in her arm. The boy wriggled and cried. She had to keep telling herself he was not real. Even then, it felt so wrong. She became distracted and collided with his mother, almost knocking the short, stocky woman over. The mother's arms were all over the boy, but Laura held fast to him, squishing his stomach into her shoulder, causing him to squeal and vomit. And then the woman switched tactics, punching and kicking Laura instead. She punched through the woman and into another room, and jumped into a large window, shattering it, landing in their backyard, stumbling and falling into a planter of night-smelling jasmine, rolling with the toddler, eardrums in pain from shrieks of boy, probably having broken his bones, maybe dislocating one of his small shoulders, but at least alive to use as hostage. Rising on her feet with the toddler, cutting across the grass, she heard the mother shouting behind, and without looking back, she hurled the boy over the 6-foot-high wooden fence, then scraped her bare stomach on the sharp fence tips when she climbed over. Picking up the screaming bundle of boy on the other side, she heard the police yelling for her to stop again, but she continued through this yard and over the next fence, hoping to lose them. Flashlights flicked on in the new yard. Behind them, stern voices ordered her to release the child. Obviously, the police had anticipated her path and had other patrol units enter the surrounding properties. "Fuck you," she shouted. "You'll have to kill me, pig, or I'll kill it. I'll break the thing's pathetic neck." She smiled gleefully, trying to appear crazy, and she grasped one of the boy's fingers and snapped it like a dry twig, issuing a horrifying scream from the toddler that pierced her soul, numbing her very resolve to leave this dream world. "I mean it." She heard stomping, but couldn't tell the police's proximity from their blinding lights. So she held another of the boy's fingers and warned, "Don't come any closer." She didn't want to break his neck, but if she did, she would lose negotiating power. So instead, she snapped a second finger. Suddenly, the dark silhouette of an officer stepped in front of a light, his fist colliding with her head.